The brothel is hot and noisy. A thick haze of incense hangs in the air, masking the pungent odors of inhuman bodies. You are surrounded by strange, unfamiliar creatures. However, you're already acquainted with at least one of those present. A figure walks rapidly through the brothel in your direction. She isn't watching where she's going, and as she stumbles into you, you realize it's none other than Monago herself. You! The demon's voice is a mixture of fear and rage. Decided to try a new profession. Was to go and rate for your services. Are you seriously trying to insult me by implying I work at a brothel? Pff, mortals. You're always getting in my way. Since you're mortal, why don't you drop dead already? Monago scoffs angrily and hurries off, clearly eager to have the last word. An attractive Lilitu in a simple but revealing dress greets you with a warm smile. Her eyeless face is serene. A new guest. We're always happy to welcome guests to the 10,000 Delights. I am Chavaro, ruler of this palace of pleasure. The only taboos here are brawling, moderation, and talking politics. Aside from that, anything goes. As my guest, you can expect to receive gentle caresses, or, if you prefer, wild and untamed ones. I have servants of every type to suit every taste. Any of them can be yours for a night, or forever, if your pockets are deep enough. What are your preferences? Never mind, I'll find out for myself. The Lilitu tilts her head to one side, as if studying you with her non-existent eyes. You feel warm. Gentle hands seem to touch your consciousness. They neatly separate thoughts from memories, feelings from emotions. Occasionally, images of long past or recent events drift through your mind. A Galarian, I see. Yes, and the commander of the crusade, no less. What fascinating memories you have. Ah, and now we've been properly introduced. You're not offended, are you? The little two gives a deep, pleasant laugh, but her voice trembles with inexplicable excitement. I wouldn't pry into his mind if I were you. He is a guest of Lady Nocticula. If you discover something you shouldn't in his thoughts, I'll carve a pair of eyes on your pretty face and you'll be weeping blood for all eternity. At the demoness's irritated snort, Yaz gives her a charming smile. I'm looking for a companion for the night. With a loud scoff, Yaz silences Shavaro before she can speak. With an innocent smile, he says, Didn't we come here on business? I thought you had some important mission, and I was ordered to follow you and see to your safety during that mission, even though I am a very busy person. The grin fades from Yaz's face, and his eyes become cold and angry. Yaz, snorting, grumbles haughtily under his breath. Nocticula ordered me to protect you, but do you really expect me to tag along while you enjoy yourself, then watch over you to make sure some whore doesn't slit your throat while you're asleep? I like you. Perhaps we can spend the night together. Interest flickers on the Lilitu's face, but her answer is brusque. I take it you're used to people falling into your arms? Don't expect it of me. My favor must be won, but you seem entirely capable of it. I have a few questions for you. The demoness smiles mysteriously. Are you interested in me or in my establishment? I want to know more about this place. Some are foolish enough to call this place a brothel, but that's a facile misrepresentation. The 10,000 Delights is a pleasure palace for every taste. You'll find everything that brings pleasure here. Wine, sex, music, good company, violence, gossip, stories, drugs, every kind of drug, herbal, alchemical, even telepathic, and many things that seem incomprehensible to us but are very popular on other planes. You are seeing but a small part of the 10,000 Delights. Behind these inconspicuous doors lie entire streets, houses, and rooms, a veritable labyrinth of pleasure. No one knows how large this place really is. Anyone who attempts to measure it returns weeks later, exhausted and happy, and somehow changed from when they left. After all, no matter who you are, no matter what your predilections, in the 10,000 delights, you will find the room where you will be fully satisfied.
Chaotic. This place looks really fun.
The little two smile smugly. Glad you like it, honey.
Tell me your story.
The demoness answers with melodious laughter. I have secrets I would rather not reveal, and without them, my story would be as insipid as sex without violence. After a moment's hesitation, the little two adds with a smile, I was once wild and dangerous. I manipulated others to destroy them, not subdue them. But then I met someone. That meeting changed everything. It sparked my hunger. I wanted to stand for something, to rise above the crowd, to become important, influential. It turned out that not only can I create bloody chaos, but I can tame wild whirlwinds of chaos, shape and direct them. And none of that would have happened but for that chance encounter.
You are a skilled mind reader.
The little two gives you a smug smile. It is my calling to read others' thoughts and motives, plant ideas in their minds, tempt and guide them. But yes, you are correct. I am unusually skilled, even by the standards of my kind. With a playful bow of her head, the Lilitu smiles. Have you heard that old saying, why don't Lilitus have eyes? Because eyes are the windows to the soul, and no one can gaze into the soul of a Lilitu.
I understand everything.
With a mysterious smile, the Lilitu nods at you.
I'm looking for a Rilu Vorlesh. Can you tell me anything useful about her?
I can, but not for free. First, you must do a favor for me. Though I have no idea how you could be of use to me. I've thought of something. Last night, Lady Monago organized a feast for her allies and lackeys in the 10,000 Delights. Pleasure reigned, but what a monstrous mess was left in its wake. So roll up your sleeves and get to work. Scrub everything thoroughly. When you finish, I will be willing to answer your questions.
You're trying to give me orders? Do you have any idea who I am?
The little two smiles, testing your patience. Ya seems to be under orders to follow you everywhere, so you must be Nocticula's newest favorite. Do you think everyone will bow and scrape before you now? Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but Our Lady in Shadow's affection is fleeting, and tomorrow you risk waking up a nobody, just as you've always been.
I will kill you for your insolence!
Under your furious gaze, Chavaro pales, but she presses her lips together in determination. Don't you dare threaten me! This is my domain. I alone have the right to make threats here. The demon seethes with rage. Fighting and killing are forbidden in my domain, so insolent fools who don't know how to behave are usually tossed out on their ear. But for you, I'm willing to make an exception. Guards, tear out this brazen mortal's heart. Yaz raises his voice only slightly, but the steely note makes Chavaro flinch. That's enough. I respect your right to test this newcomer, and I recognize your authority within these walls, but you are keeping me from following Lady Nocticula's order to protect this mortal from harm. Is it your intent to interfere with my work and to start a quarrel with me? Yaz's stern look makes Chavaro sigh and accept her defeat.
If you don't want me to drown you in the blood of your pitiful servants, start talking.
He barged into my establishment, killed my servants, and now he's threatening me. What an unpleasant guest you brought me, Yaz. Fine, then, listen. I did, in fact, meet with Arilu Vorlesh. Not so long ago, she came to Illusionera looking for a comfortable place to settle. She had the goal to rent a room in the 10,000 Delights. I gladly provided her with our best chambers, but our acquaintance, alas, did not last long. She soon found herself a better situation. She moved to the palace of Our Lady in Shadow at the lady's personal invitation. The fact that Arilu was invited to Nocticula's palace seems highly suspicious. Why did they quarrel? And why does the Lady in Shadow want Arilu Vorlesh dead? You could try to get to the bottom of this mystery if you only knew where to look. You found out everything you wanted, mortal. Now let's leave this place before we outstay our welcome. We seem to have wearied the mistress of this charming place.